Welcome to the Ignace Indian Health Center's Teaching Kitchen. Today we're live during Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month and also National Nutrition Month. So March, we've got a lot of celebrating to do. Today we're here doing a cooking demonstration with Ron on healthy traditional foods. Please leave comments in the comment section with something that you've learned to be entered to win some prizes throughout the month. You can also share this video and any of our other videos. Just want to advertise these beautiful earrings that one of our nurses made. These will be one of the prizes this month. And my name's Lauren. I'm a dietitian here at the Ignace Health Center.
Hi everyone, my name is Ron Greger. I'm the security lead here. Those of you that do know me know that I like to cook and I like to team up with Lauren and the dietitian crew to take a lot of our ethnic food and make it healthy eating for healthy living.
And I'm Nico. I'm a community health worker, and so I'm going to be kind of going over all these different foods that we're using and how they kind of impact our health, specifically for our diets, so with vitamins and minerals, and then how that even impacts colorectal cancer, since March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month.
Which, by the way, I gotta get mine done.
Good job, staying on top of your screening.
There you go. It's important.
Well, we'll jump right in with Ron here. He'll be walking us through a recipe that he put his touch on, a chicken and wild rice stuffed acorn squash. So take it away, Ron.
Okay, so a lot of people know we do a lot with our culture, and we do have like acorn squash, wild rice. We do a lot of berries and stuff like that. So I try to incorporate a lot of our old ways of doing things back in the day. And made it for us to eat it healthier for ourselves. So what I like to talk about is the wild rice over here. You can get like these at the stores at 1 pound bag. This is a very large bag here. So for us, we do a lot of cooking, so we're gonna buy a larger bag. You do not have to get them that big. You just buy 1 pound bags at any local grocery stores. And that'll give you more than enough. That gives you about a cup worth of rice in there, in the 1 pound bags. The spices that we like to use for the wild rice would be your cinnamon, right here. We also use the cumin. We use the garlic and onion powder. And we use the pepper. And we use the pink salt. Now these are all spices that we like to use. Very natural, no salt to it. It's good for your body, and I think these guys can tell you exactly more about the spices.
Yeah, Ron, I love that you chose to use the garlic and onion powder because those are totally salt-free, so really good for our blood pressure.
So what we do is, in the rice, I also added, when we boil the rice, I also add about a half a cup of onions, about a cup of carrots, about a cup of jalapeno diced, and you want to pull the seeds out. If you keep the seeds in, obviously the spicy you want it. So if you want it spicier, leave the seeds in it. 1 clove of garlic, and then you add that into the rice with about maybe 2.5 cups of water. When you cook the rice, you want to kind of keep a watchful eye on that because rice takes a while to cook. So we actually have ingredients in there to keep it for 45 minutes to cook on simmer. And sometimes it may not be done, so you just want to keep a watchful eye on it. Watch it pop up, and you'll see all these rice pop. If you take a look in there, and they all popped up in here, so you see they're all open. And that's how you know they're done. Okay? So a jalapeno, all the spices are all in here already. All this flavoring is in here already, okay? So what we want to do is that rice is done now. You want to go to acorn squash.
Ron, could I add something about the nutrition of wild rice?
Sure.
So I did a little comparison between the nutrition of wild rice and brown rice and white rice. Both brown and wild rice are whole grain versions of rice, and then white rice is the refined or processed version. But wild rice has the highest nutrient content out of all of them. Each 1 cup serving has 3 grams of fiber, which we love fiber for both our colon and just overall health promotion and disease prevention. Has over 2.5 grams more protein than white rice. a higher potassium and magnesium content, which is really great for heart health and preventing disease. So great job choosing that awesome whole grain that's a traditional ingredient.
Thank you. So we would like to do with the acorn squash, so you can find these in any store. They're very common during the holidays, Thanksgiving and stuff like that. Cut it right down the middle.
Any tips for cutting those squash? They can be kind of hard.
They can be very hard, actually, and the good thing you brought that up. So I'm still used to cutting. I did cut it pretty easy. First tip is you want a real sharp knife. You don't want a dull knife. So when it's out here like this, you want to keep your finger out of the way and just kind of give it a nice score, push down, and then you take your fingers, push it straight down. And you'll be able to cut right through.
Awesome. Yeah, he really made that look easy.
Yeah. So the real sharp knife is what the key word is here, okay? So you don't have a sharp knife, it's not going to be that easy. So you take a spoon, and you want to clean the inside of this, get all the seeds and all the little membranes out of the way.
Well, I'll chime in here too with some fun facts about squash. A 1 cup serving of acorn squash has 9 grams of fiber. Maybe when I'm done here, Nico will tell us about why we like fiber so much. 37% of our day's worth of vitamin C, so that helps boost our immune fighting potential within our body, and a nice amount of iron, and also potassium and magnesium.
And so fiber, of course, because March is colorectal cancer awareness, we do want to make sure that, the more fiber that we're getting, the easier it is to kind of pass stools, and that's easier on our colon. And if you take a look, all of the ingredients that Ron has, from the squash, from the wild rice, and the different fillings that are going to go into the filling as well, they all have high amounts of fiber in them. And it's much better than compared to, like Lauren said, like a refined grain like wild rice, or not wild rice, like white rice, where a lot of that fiber and all those nutrients have been stripped out of the rice.
We talk a lot about fiber.
There's a lot of fiber. So now we got the squash cut. So usually you see how wobbly they are and they're moving around. You kind of don't want to do that because eventually you want this in the oven and keep it straight. So I usually go in the back here, score a small little section here. Now look at it, keep it straight. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with getting a little score back there.
Awesome.
Okay.
Makes it much safer.
Yeah. So now what we did, we actually took some of the brown sugar here, and then we grabbed some of the cinnamon, garlic, onion powder, and the cumin, and a little bit of salt, and we added it in here, and we mixed it all up. So all you want to do, about a teaspoon each, maybe a little bit more, and you just want to spread it around. Now it looks a little dry, and it is. So that won't be a problem though, because what we do is we put this in the oven in a pan with some water, and it creates steam. So here's your pan that you want to use, and you want to use a pan that has a little bit of a lid on there. And you put that in there, and you put a cup of water, maybe a half a cup. You just want enough water in there to create the steam. All you need is steam. The steam is what's going to help cook this baby down. So this is what you're going to get when you're steamed. So if you see how soft it is, that's how you know you're done. Okay?
And so, Ron, did you cover that with foil when you baked it?
Yeah, we're going to cover this up with
Okay.
foil.
That's how you got it so nice and soft?
Yes.
All right.
So what it does is it holds the steam in, holds the heat in there, and it renders that steam, it renders down all that heat inside there. So you want to cover it real good, nice and tight. Now here you want to keep it about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how your oven is working. Because some ovens are a little bit different than others. So you want to kind of keep a watchful eye after 45 minutes to make sure that we're not going to burn the squash.
I'll keep an eye on that for us, Ron.
Okay, so now that's done, Now you have to bake that in order to get the squash completely soft. Now we have some squash that's already done now. With this squash is done now, what we do is add the rice. We're gonna add the raisins, about a cup of raisins. This is 1 whole can, 15 ounce of black bean, drained and rinsed. You stick that in there. We have roughly chopped baby spinach. We add that in there. Then we take chicken. We didn't put the chicken in the other one.
Oh,
So we take chicken. So we have the chicken, we use 2 breasts. That's about 2 pounds right there. And we put that in the oven, pre-bake that until it's completely done, about 165 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's your go-to temp. So once it's done, you want to take it and just shred it and give it a good shred.
And so the nice thing about chicken is that it's a lean protein. Another aspect with, protecting our colons is making sure that we're not eating so much red meat, which has a lot of saturated fat in it. And in addition to being good for, our digestive system, it's also good for our heart health as well. And so replacing, maybe with ground beef with shredded chicken, you're cutting down a lot of that fat content, but still getting all of that protein.
yeah, really cool too. Ron found this recipe, and together as a team here, with Ron's creative insight, we made a lot of modifications to this recipe. I think the overall meat content too is kind of cut back because we added in the beans, which beans are also a great healthy food and a traditional protein source. And with beans being our protein source, we get a lot of fiber and nutrition without any added fat. So since beans are a plant-based source of protein, no fat, no cholesterol, just good fiber and other vitamins and minerals. I love the pop of color that you added in here too, Ron, with the dried cranberries.
Yep.
Cranberries have a lot of vitamin C and kind of plant power, I guess you could call it, as antioxidants. Really help our body fight inflammation and just really stay nice and healthy. So I love how colorful this dish is for our stuffing. The more color that our plates and our meals have, the more nutritious that they are for us and help fight disease. So that's really awesome, Ron.
Thank you. So I wanted to get some savory and some sweetness to it, so you don't have a bland or a blah taste. A lot of people think because you want to cut back on salt and flavors, you're going to lose a lot of your flavors and your taste. So there's ways of incorporating things that can still be healthy for you and still be flavorful. So you got to be a little creative sometimes. What's good about this recipe, you can go anywhere with this. You can do anything you want with it. Celery, mushrooms. I mean, there's never ending story with this. I mean, there's so many things you can do. It's what you like. So I put the sweetness in there, so you have a little savory with the sweetness in it. It's got a little bite to it with the jalapeno in there. So you got a real good flavor in there.
Yeah.
You can mix that all back in here so that we can get the chicken added in there. We forgot the chicken.
If I remember correctly, when we first found this recipe, it was basically just rice and cranberries?
Right, cranberry and venison.
Okay. And then Ron added spinach, carrots, beans. Added a lot of great vegetables to lighten up the meal and add a bunch of fiber to help fight disease.
Also, it's very filling. It looks like a lot of work, but it really isn't. I'm going to say this is about 45 minutes prep time. Cooking time, probably about hour and a half,
Yeah, maybe for the rice is probably the longest.
Yeah.
Like cooking the rice and the squash at the same time, then you have a lot of downtime.
Right. So now what you want to do, you want to add this into your squash, like so. And you want to fill it up. You want to be really healthy with it, healthy portion size. And again, it's what you want to do, how you want to put it in there, how you want to add it in there, it's up to you. Now we saved a little bit of green onions here, and that's for your garnish on the top. We kind of made a mistake when we first started here. We added the stuff inside the squash here, and we forgot to add the chicken. So right now we're adding the chicken here. And technically you're gonna put it back into the broiler after this is done. And broil that for about 5, maybe 10 minutes. Just want a nice little crisp to the top. And once that's done, we're good to sit down and eat and have a great meal, a healthy meal.
Little less dishes too, because
Yeah.
your meal's right there in the squash of your bowl.
So now, so a lot of people don't like acorn. They might like the spinach and the rice or whatever. You can always use that as a side salad, side dish, or anything. You can make fish. I was asked earlier by Nico, could you use this with fish? Well, yeah, you can, but you just can't mix the fish in there like you do with the chicken because your fish will just fall apart on you. So this would be a main dish, would be a fish, and then you can put a side on there and use it as your side. So it'll go with just about anything you use, and it'll stay traditional kind of meal. You need to add anything?
I don't think so. I think everything has been pretty much covered because I mean, you have the squash that's filled with fiber. You have all the carrots, the spinach, the cranberries, all of that color that adds up to all the antioxidants that are good for our body's health. And this would be a great meal that if you're trying to get more fiber into your diet, maybe this would be something easy enough to try out and incorporate into your healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, I would estimate that this one serving has at least 15 grams of fiber. And just to put that in reference, a daily goal for a woman would be about 25 grams of fiber, and a daily goal for a man is about 30. So with this meal alone, we're basically hitting half of our goal.
Right.
It's good to stay hydrated when we're starting to incorporate more fiber into our meal plan, just to help keep things moving. But otherwise, yeah, fiber is a great nutrient for cancer prevention and also disease prevention overall. So great modifications that you made to this meal round. It was a lot of fun working with you.
Thank you guys, thank you. So I'd like to pull out this squash that we just put back in here. So it's gonna be some of what you're gonna be looking at. And you can see the steam coming off of it. You can look at this stuff here. And I'm gonna show you on the inside here. I mean, you just got flavor. I mean, just all natural, seasoned, natural flavor. And all healthy. Do a little bit of ground, there you go.
We always forget garnish in the kitchen, so
Yes.
we can't forget.
So it looks messy on here, but if you have it on your plate presentation, it'll probably look a lot easier and a lot nicer. So what we can do is put it on the plate for you and give you a presentation on how it really looks.
Really looks beautiful. So much color.
And here you have it. Now, you had anything you want to add on top of that, as far as any more like carrots on the side or anything. You want some more cranberries, a little bit of jalapenos. Those are all garnishes you can add back on top of there.
Yeah.
And this is what we have. So I like to take a bite of this and see how we really did here.
See how we did. Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to eat the skin.
It's a great meal and so many different applications. Could be a nice side dish, main dish. Really is lovely.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. For no salt, this is really good. Really, really good. You do want to try this.
Well, and the plus of cooking without salt is then we can all salt it to our liking.
Right.
We start with 0 and then we can adjust it to our own taste preference. So
You can taste. I mean, I can taste all the seasoning in there. I mean, I can taste the cranberry, the sweetness. I can taste the pepperness in there, with the jalapenos in there. You got a lot of flavor floating around in your mouth, and that's a good thing. That makes you want to go back and more and get some more.
yeah, I think a lot of times people think healthy food doesn't have a lot of flavor.
Exactly.
And that's just not the case.
No, I mean, people don't realize you can use honey, you can use syrup. Just watch how much you're consuming and how much you're using. But those are all different things we can use as a natural sweetener without having to use sugar.
And if you're finding yourself stuck and just want to bounce some ideas, Ron's always here. He's got chef skills. beyond belief. So he can share lots of things with us, and our team's here for you as well to help promote health and prevent disease. Don't forget, March is Colorectal Cancer Month. Check your colon. Reach out, we can help schedule anything or provide some education. Please share any comments or anything that you learned with us and be entered to win prizes this month. Anything else?
I want to say thank you guys for having me here. I enjoy this every time.
Yeah.
Enjoy being with you guys as well.
And
Hope you guys learn something, and I know I do all the time.
It's always good to keep learning, right?
Yes.
And stay tuned because we'll have one more cooking demonstration with Ron later this month.
I think we're going to do something like a soup.
Okay, stay tuned. I can't think of the date right now. Well, have a great day, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.